What's going on, everybody? It's FREEDO here for Your Overwatch. Today we're going to break down some examples of how and why to swap your heroes. Right now in the meta, most of the characters are really viable, so not only do you have a lot of options to you, but your enemies do as well, which means that in order to properly rock, paper, scissors their strategy, you're going to have a better command of the game and what certain heroes are capable of and what they're weak to in order to counter-strat them effectively. Now, I can't go over each and every permutation in this video alone, but I'm going to try to give you the tools to be able to work your way through these different types of engagements on your own. Generally speaking, the rules that you want to build on, enabling synergies within your own team, and when needed, countering the enemy team's pieces that are giving you the most trouble. Now, that's easier said than done, obviously, but let's start off with looking at the team comp that we have here with Triple Tank. A really reliable way to play the game, especially if you know you have a respawn advantage, which we do in this case. We're going to be taking Anubis A, and the strategy is we get behind the Rhine barrier, we're able to read the situation, assess which angle we want to attack from, and then we overwhelm the enemy, and with all of our barriers and shielding, we're able to keep the Genji alive. We should have a good time focusing down the key targets with Discord Orb, trade out, and win by the second push. We have a minute and a half to do this, so it's smart to play for the reinforcements game, at least on the first attack, and that's our strategy going into this. As soon as we open the doors out of spawn, we get some bad news. The enemy team is running a pharmacy, and our team doesn't really have a reliable way to shoot her out of the sky. Now, we still may have been able to win based upon our set strat at the beginning, but we decide to swap because they also have a Reaper, which is not good news for me, so I might not even want to be Winston anyway, because there's a good chance I'm just going to get shredded. So, my team take the left side, and my Lucio secondary shot caller tells the team to hold up. The enemy team don't even press their advantage here. They may not know it, because they might not have seen me sneak away from spawn, but they have a 6v5 on this left side, and they probably could have pushed in one, possibly. But they're on defense, they're going to wait it out. I come up to the choke as Widowmaker, and surprise, surprise, the Reaper, with his beautiful chunky pumpkin head peeking over the top, outside of the Rhine shield. I'm able to get the pick there, and then it's off to the races. My team are able to swarm the point, and the enemy are instantly on the back foot. Reaper was the thing keeping that team comp secure. Pharah can't really deter space so much, as she can get damage where she wants, but she doesn't have this devastating burst damage that like a Reaper, a Roadhog, or a McCree has, where they can stand still on a spot and just demand space. So Reaper going down first there was pretty much open season for our team to win. Not to mention, the map architecture allows for Widowmaker to have a nice open sight line to help pick off the rest of the enemy team. I mean, in reality, my shots there weren't even that great. They were pretty average at best, but that just goes to show you how good a counter strat pick can do to carry the game without requiring some massive mechanical performance out of you in order to win. So now we're moving on to a Ilios game with me and Liam in duo queue. And like most duo queue games, we find it difficult to find enough players who play healer and or main tank. A lot of Roadhogs around, but not a lot of main tanks. And that's something that's pretty weak for an Ana player like myself. Roadhog Zarya are both off tanks, so we don't really have a frontline stabilization force that allows for the team to engage, and a tank that wants to get in fights all the time for Ana to pump healing into. So instead of playing Ana, I swap over to the Winston. And with my Winston pick, I can drop my barrier to zone out the point. I can help enforce whatever fight that we want to be in. I mean, the crazy thing is I'm playing it into double shotgun on this point, and it's still working because my playstyle is built around avoiding those things and enforcing our DPSs to enable them to do well. And of course, Roadhog is a DPS. And if I'm always one leap away from coming in to help him so he doesn't get singled out, we could be set up in a really good spot. A character like Winston that wants to dive in and take a lot of the brunt of the battle is good for Zarya as well, and help keep me alive, charge her shields. She needs something to be initiating and taking the front face of the damage, so she doesn't have to. We ended up winning that game, but now we're going on to a completely separate Ilios game where my same Winston strategy wasn't working as well. But this time we had a slightly different team composition and a slightly different team, and the enemy, quite crucially, was running a Pharah. Now, I'm going to warn you guys right now, my Rhine is incredibly average. Do not take Rhine tips directly from me. I know how to play Rhine theoretically, but don't look at my Rhine gameplay and learn anything beyond just standing in the right spot, keeping my DPS alive, and actually tanking. A lot of people play tanks just to sort of like play battle tank in an FPS format, when in Overwatch, in reality, you do want to play positioning, protect your DPS squishies style tanking. And just by holding presence and trying to play a smart Reinhardt rather than carry the game for the team and just go in at every opportunity, I'm able to keep my DPS alive, get very high percentage pins when the team sets it up, and just allow the enemy team to make a mistake. Oftentimes, you'll get in these games where there is no main tank on either side. And I think this is one of the easiest ways for you guys to start to flip these games entirely around, because so many teams seem to think like Zarya Roadhog is an acceptable tank combination when it's not. If the enemy team don't have a Rein Shield or a Winston, if I position myself well with my barrier as a terrible Rein player, we're able to take position with multiple seconds of barrier time to set up and do what we want, to get free damage onto the enemy team and to protect our team. And not to mention, when Reinhardt sees the opening, if you get good at Reinhardt and you play smart enough, there'll be a lot of clear open opportunities to make big plays based upon your opponent's missteps. So that's why I also advocate that you try to get as many core heroes into your hero pool as possible, even just a competent version of them. It's gonna be really hard to rank up otherwise if you're just like a Junkrat Zen player. But if you incorporate Lucio, Reinhardt Winston, Ana, characters that are team comp defining, when your team's lacking in something crucial and you provide it even just in a competent degree, the strategy interaction of the two comps colliding can yield for an easy victory for you, and you might not have to do that much. Let me know your thoughts on this video, guys, in the comment section below. We can do a lot more examples like this where we can show you the decisions we made to counter-pick our opposition, but I hope this video was a good entry point into seeing the possibilities of how you can make impactful hero choice decisions to just win games based upon that almost alone. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. We really do appreciate it. It does help us out. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We upload each and every day, and we also live stream on Twitch every day. I was knocked out of Masters, but I'm 100 skill rating away as of today. Will FREEDO make it back to Masters? Will he tilt off the side of the planet and play incredibly averagely tonight on Your Overwatch? Check out our Discord linked in the description. There you can find teammates to pair up with on every platform at every skill rating. Follow us on Twitter for announcements for when we stream, updates, and other cool clips we get from playing the game at Your Overwatch YT. That's been it for me. I've been FREEDO for Your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.